Today we discuss our thoughts on the PS5 Pro announcement. Justin gives us his updated thoughts on Star Wars Outlaws and what he thinks about NBA 2K25, and some of our favorite Emmy winners. All this and more, this is Nerds with Mics. Hello and welcome, everyone, to episode 155 of Nerds with Mics. I'm Travis.
I'm Justin.
And like I said today, we have a packed show, but I don't think it's going to be a long one. That's what she said. But yeah, I know. We're going to talk about some news, which we don't really do news a whole lot, but there's a couple stories I wanted to talk about. We obviously had the PS5 Pro announcement.
PS5.
It is the foe for show. Also wanted to talk a little bit about Astrobots, and then also a little bit of news around Diablo 4. And then obviously we had Emmys 2024 last night. Wanted to talk about some of our favorite wins from that because we are TV lovers here at Nerds with Mics. We love a good TV show. I really hate that I didn't get to see it live because Eugene Levy and his dad, or no, Eugene is the dad, David and Eugene Levy hosted. And I feel like
Dan.
that is it Dan?
Yeah.
Oh, but
he played
is
David on Schitt's Creek.
Yeah. But I feel like that would be such a good dynamic duo to have for host. I feel like that would be great. So, but before we get into all that, as always want to talk about what we've been up to. Justin, I'm going to turn it over to you. What have you been up to, man?
All right. So we're still watching Modern Family very slowly, but great show. I don't think I've watched any movies. I did make my wife watch Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2. I think maybe we had watched Volume 1 the last time we recorded, but we've also since seen Volume 2 as well. I don't think she really liked it, but that's okay. I've been playing some Astrobot, NBA 2K25, and Star Wars Outlaws. Do you want me to talk about those now, or do you want to talk about those later in the show?
Honestly, if it's part of your week, you can go ahead and talk about them. That's
oh
fine.
Man,
right
all right. Oh boy. Okay, so Star Wars Outlaws. I'm almost done with it. I've almost beat it. Definitely has. It's not a perfect game, obviously, but it's probably my favorite game this year.
Okay, that's a bold statement.
Well, I'm not saying it's the best game this year. It's just my favorite game this year. But it's probably the only game that has truly made me feel like I'm like I exist in this universe.
Okay.
So you could say like, yeah, Jedi Survivor, Jedi Fallen Order, whatever. Yeah, but I'm like, I feel like I'm a bigger part of the story in those. This I just feel like any random smuggler, scoundrel type person.
Do you feel like do you feel like your choices have consequence in this game at all?
I mean, to an extent they do. I mean, because you're constantly managing the reputations between the different factions. Now, do these decisions and consequences have an impact on the outcome of the game? I don't think that they will. But I'm having a great time. I think I'm like 18, 19 hours in. I've been trying to knock out a lot of the side quests. I did glance at a walkthrough, like a list of mission quests, just to see like where I was, because it kind of felt like things were going to start wrapping up soon. I still probably have like 3 or 4 like missions left, which some of these missions take a while. Like they're not usually like 5-10 minute little things. They're like maybe 30 to 45 minute missions. So I expect to have a couple hours left with it at least. Just really liking it. I do think that what they have built with this game is the perfect foundation to like build off of. So like, I hope that Outlaws is just the beginning. I honestly hope we get an Outlaws 2, but I also hope with the same like engine, I hope we get like a bounty hunting game where I'm just like a bounty hunter in the world. I'm not like the Mandalorian. I'm not Boba Fett. I'm just a bounty hunter. And instead of doing like smuggling jobs or whatever, I'm like taking on bounty hunting jobs, while maybe also maybe have me taking jobs from the Empire. Like how cool would that be? So I do hope that they take what they've built here, and I hope they build off of it and expand it, because I think they have the beginning of something special if they can really keep growing it.
Okay, so your thoughts have kind of stayed the same.
Yeah,
I feel like.
Yeah, I would give the game, if I was going to score it, which I haven't yet because I want to beat it first, but I would at the moment, like I think the Open Critic score is like 77 or something. I think I would give the game an 8. I think it's an 8. I wouldn't say it's better than that. I don't think I would say it's worse than that. If I was going to, a 7.5 is absolutely the floor. I think I may have mentioned last time, like Greg Miller from Kind of Funny, he gave it a 4 out of 10. Dude was just trying to get a soundbite like that stood out, because the game is like swimming in a sea of sevens when it comes to reviews. And my guess is he probably thought, well, it's a 7, but it's not. No one's going to care if I say that because everyone else has said that. Because there's just no way that he thinks it's a 4. There's no way anybody thinks this game is a 4 out of 10. It's just not. That's impossible. So,
Would you say the weakest part of the game is the story or parts of the gameplay?
story I think is pretty okay. I mean, the story is not this big grand like thing. I'm not like saving the world. I'm simply trying to like pay off a debt and avoid a bounty on my own head. you know,
Yeah.
it's like it's a very like low stakes story, which is what I think I like about it so much. Because to my character, this is everything, right? But to
Yeah.
like Luke and Han, they don't give a crap. They don't even know who I am. Um, Also, one of the coldest things I've ever seen in Star Wars was I go up to this guy, this crime lord guy, and his freaking table that he's sitting at is a guy frozen in carbonite that owed him a debt. He's using him as a table. And I was like,
What?
that is cool. Yeah,
That's pretty hardcore, I must say.
it is. He's just like got stuff on this table, and like you realize it's a dude, and you're like, oh no. That was pretty sweet though. But I would probably say it's the gameplay. Now, I don't think the gameplay is bad. I just think it could be better. Um, it does have some shortcomings, some just Ubisoft jank here and there, open world
Some,
game jank that we see a lot.
yeah. NPCs acting weird and funny at times and not looking
Uh,
at you when they're talking is what I'm hearing.
NPCs have actually been fine, I think.
I guess not main NPCs, I guess is what I meant to say, but
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe. I nothing that stood out. A lot of it comes with the speeder and honestly, like the shooting. Like I feel like my character is a little wonky when I'm controlling her, especially in fights. Um, but I mean, it's nothing that's made me go, gosh, the gameplay. It's just, it could be better. Yes. Is it bad? No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely do plan on going back and playing it. I know that you had said once you get farther in the game and you start updating your stuff, you said for you that's when the game started to get better for you. I saw there was a lot of backlash around like some of the stealth like the 4 stealth missions that they went back and it may even just be the first one in the very beginning where it like forces you when you're trying to break into the one of the bases where it's like if you get caught it like instantly fails you and it's a pretty long level. I saw that they went back and patched some of those, but I am pretty interested to go back to play it because I think that I'll enjoy it if I kind of stick with it. Once I was in the open world part, it was better. But it was just some of those frustrating things with the stealth mechanic is where I kind of was a little frustrated. So
Yeah. And it's like my friend Greg, he picked it up and has been playing it. He has some I think legitimate gripes with the checkpoint system too, and when you get caught. So he'd find himself getting booted back even farther than like where he would have liked to have been thrown back for
yeah,
failing a mission. I haven't actually done any forced stealth missions since they patched it, so I don't really know it's different yet. Um, but I never was like annoyed. I did restart one mission like 1,000 times early on, but my checkpoint was like right before I got caught, so it wasn't that big of a
got you.
deal.
Okay. Well, what about some of the other games you played? What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so I've been playing NBA 2K25. 2K sent us a code. Thank you, 2K. It's so I'll be honest with you. I played 2K24. I've played every 2K game actually.
Yeah, you're a pretty
Since
avid 2Ker.
I am. I love NBA 2K since the Dreamcast. NBA 2K, the first one with Allen Iverson on the cover, that has been my jam. And of course, over the years, we've seen them get more and more monetized. And an emphasis put on the My Team card collecting mode. I don't give a crap about that at all. But last year, I felt like was the lowest the game had ever been. The online play, if you were just like a casual like me, was miserable, absolutely miserable. The latency on the shot timer sucked. If you didn't hit perfect greens on the shot meter, you just missed them. It was just a disaster scenario. My friend JD and I would play, and we would just get cooked. And like, yeah, it's a skill issue. It 100% is a skill issue because I don't have 24 hours a day to dedicate to mastering the timing of a shot. So
Right.
we ended up just like not playing the online mode. And then when this one came out, we were like, well, we're probably not going to play the online mode. We're going to get cooked by a bunch of, sweat lords or whatever. Hasn't been the case. The shot meter, it's better. It's more forgiving. We're actually able to go out there and compete. Do we lose more than we win? Heck yeah, we do. But we're staying competitive, and the games aren't miserable and they're not blowouts anymore. So they've done something with the online whatever. Because even before, like when you'd play online, it just felt like you had less control over your character. And just that hasn't been the case this time. It feels very responsive. So whatever they did, it seems to have worked. I'm happy they did it. As far as like the My Career mode and the My GM and the My NBA Eras mode, those are all still really good. The My Career mode is still pretty heavily monetized. If you want to be good at the game, you got to pay. Fortunately, 2K did send us the version that had some VC with it, so I was able to kind of level my character up early on, so I wasn't miserable. And then I've grinded the rest of the way. I got my guy up to level 90, so I actually feel like I'm an NBA superstar when I'm playing the NBA
Nice.
games. The My Eras mode added the Steph Curry era, which has been pretty sweet to kind of play through that. If you're an NBA fan, the Eras mode in the My NBA mode is one of the greatest things. Travis, I don't know if you know what that is, but essentially,
No, tell me more.
like franchise modes, right? Like you pick a team,
Yeah,
you start from today, and you go on, right? In
for
the
sure.
eras mode, they've got like the Magic era, the Kobe era, the Jordan era, the LeBron era, the Steph era, and I think they have one even further back. But basically, it picks like a season, like in the past, and you start then. So like if you're playing like in the 80s, the TV's all grainy and blurry, and the score bug and everything looks like it's from that time period. But you can play, and then like maybe I'm the Lakers, but maybe I trade off all these superstars, draft different players. Maybe I end up drafting Michael Jordan, with the Lakers or with the Mavericks or something. But you basically rewrite history depending on whichever area you start in. Now, the one kind of like flaw with this mode is like there's a lot of guys who've been drafted in the second round that ended up being like crazy superstars. So like that ahead of time. You kind of have that
Yeah.
foresight to know like, oh, this guy shouldn't go past like the 10th pick, but in reality he was drafted like 40th overall.
Right.
So you can kind of like stack your team that way. So I may have participated in that kind of manipulation, but yeah, it's just a fun. Hey, it's a fantasy, right? It's not supposed to be
For
real life.
sure.
But that's just a fun thing to do. And like I said, they had the Steph Curry era, so that's a cool thing to have.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And you said you dove a little bit into Astrobots. What do you think of that? Because I'm going to talk about that in my week, but I'm curious to hear what you're thinking about that. Because I think I had played a little bit more of you in that game, but I know that you've gotten back into it, I think.
I love Astrobot. It's probably in the running for best platformer of all time. One of them, like that, and Super Mario Odyssey, I think, is one of them that's always in the running as well. I want to look up the Open Critics score because I believe the last time I looked, yeah, at the
Was it a
moment,
95?
Astrobot, huh?
Was it a
95, which is the
95?
highest, yeah,
Yeah.
which is the highest game of this year. So it may be our game of the year winner. When you compare it to Super Mario Odyssey, if you can't hear me, also let me know because I am turning my head
No,
away from the mic.
you're good. You're good.
Super Mario Odyssey does have a 97. So yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I think it's safe to say you could definitely make the argument that this is one of the best platformers of all time. It's super charming. The PlayStation DualSense haptics are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Tons of just little secrets and Easter eggs. It's just a really, really
I
enjoyable
wish I would have
game.
got the Astrobot controller. I didn't even think about it because honestly, this game wasn't even on my radar, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Honestly, it wasn't on mine either until those reviews dropped, and I was like, huh, that's
Yeah.
pretty impressive. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm having a good time.
Okay. And you said you already talked about the shows you're watching, right? You said you were
Yeah.
watching Modern Family. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Are
pretty
you
much the
watching
only
Rings
one.
of Power or no?
Mm-mm.
No, I didn't think you watched the show. Okay. Anything else going on? Or is that it?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. All right. So for me, I've been playing Astrobots as well. I've completed the first planet, and then like a bunch of bonus planets kind of show up in like that Lost Galaxy or whatever it's called. I've done a few in there. It's really fun. Like the haptics are fun. I find myself like constantly wanting to 100% a level before I move on to the next one. And I did not know or expect that like a lot of Sony's IPs would sneak into it as like different Astrobots, like Jack and Daxter and some others that you see. I don't want to give a ton away, but I thought that was really cool, like a way to kind of reuse some of that stuff and have them show up. I thought was really neat. The fact that their ship is like basically a huge PlayStation that you have to kind of reassemble so they can leave the planet. It's pretty cool. I've still playing Elden Ring as well. And then I've also been watching Rings of Power. I am in the second season, but I have not watched the newest episode, which is the 5th episode. So I still got to watch that this week. And then also this week, I was asked by a friend of mine to come onto their podcast, the Testing Room podcast. I think I've told you about that. I sat in and brought a topic, and we talked about, when is it time to call it quits, like for a video game series that's been out for too long, and talk about
Watch
that.
Dogs.
We had a really good conversation about that. So if you want to listen and check that out, it's the Testing Room. You can listen to that or watch that on YouTube. But it was a great conversation. So thanks for having me on for that. But other than that, that is all I have been up to. I did want to get into some recent news. I'm going to go through the PS5 announcement, and then I will kind of get what your thoughts are. So we had a recent PS5 announcement. We're a little behind on this, but yes, we had a PS5 Pro announcement. $700. $6.99. Sorry.
When is your? Oh, I see it now. Never mind. I'm dumb. I see the episode.
Yeah,
I was trying to find the episode that you were on. I didn't know if it was out yet, but I see it here. It just
I think it just dropped today, actually. Yeah.
Yep.
So $6.99, 2 TB internal storage. So it is higher than what we're currently getting. I'm hoping that it will let you still expand past that. I would think it would, but we'll see.
Good question.
Has Wi-Fi 7. And then obviously the standard things you expect to see: enhanced GPU process performance, offering up to 50% more power is what they're saying than the base PS5, making it more suitable for 8K gaming and upscaling. Like I'm thinking if we're not able to run games in 4K at 120, like I'm not interested in gaming in 8K yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So backwards compatibility, obviously, but the PS5 Pro includes PS5 Pro Game Boost, improving the performance of not only PS5 titles, but also PS4 titles. And then some of the launch titles, obviously, most of these are going to be upgraded games that you've already played. Spider-Man 2, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Demon's Souls, among others. Now, a couple interesting things I wanted to talk about real quick at this, and I'll get your thoughts. Is I guess somebody was quoted from Sony saying that because there was lack of competition is why they felt like the $6.99 price tag was fair, which I just think which is just asinine, but that's neither here nor there. But there's also some news around GTA 6. Obviously, we know GTA 6 is not out, but there has been some conversation that GTA 6 is unlikely to still run at 60 frames a second due to the CPU limitation on the PS5. GTA 6's massive world map may hinder the ability to reach those 60 frames per second. But GTA 6, however, should still get a graphical boost over the standard PS5 Pro. So that's at least good news. But this makes me worried what GTA 6 is going to run like on the base model PS5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I think it'll probably... I don't know. I mean, I think it'll be fine, but graphically, it may not be as sharp.
I will say the one thing I think I'm interested about the PS5 more than anything, it's not the price tag, but they talked about with the upscaling, it being AI upscaling, and they showed off a little bit of that. I think that could be good. There's already some other companies doing it. Like I know that Nvidia has their version where you can take old games and it almost makes them look remastered just by running the software. So I'm kind of curious to see what they can do with that. But what are your overall thoughts on PS5 Pro? And do you think that you're going to get one? Because I know a lot of times you and I in the beginning always say no, but then we see, oh, well, if we trade this in or this in, we can get a deal. It doesn't make, and then we always tell ourselves, well, it wouldn't make sense not to do it. So what's your thoughts?
That's a great point. So before they ever showed the video, I decided I'm getting it. Okay. I had no. But then when they showed the video, even before they showed the price, I kept thinking, this doesn't seem like enough. Now I'm not a very I feel like I'm pretty tech savvy, but not on this level, right?
You weren't sold by the robot marketing person that was Sony there?
Yeah. So when they're showing the differences between certain games, I was just like,
you're squinting.
You're I'm I just don't think I need this. And then they showed the price, and I was like, no, that's absurd. Now the 2 terabyte drive is nice. I've got 4 in mine, so that's wasted on me. Doesn't have a disk drive for $700. That's ridiculous. This doesn't matter that much to me, but it doesn't include the stand. Some people were mad about that.
I don't do virtual. I don't do vertical anyways.
I don't either, but some people were complaining no disk drive, no stand, and you want $700. By the time you got everything, you'd be pushing $859. So I'm not interested. I also did notice that the day that this video came out, GameStop lowered the PS5 trade value down to I think 250. It was 350, I think, before that. It has since gone back up. I think they're actually doing a promotion right now for 410. But that's trading it in right now. Right now, not having your PS5 until
and it's November
10th,
I think. Yeah. Pre-orders start the 26th, I think.
They start the 26th for PS Direct, but if you pre-order from GameStop, it's later. It's October something, I think. And I'm sure GameStop will have some stupid rule where you have to be a pro member. I mean, that's their whole thing now. A dying company is you know what? We should make it harder to get customers in here.
You mean you don't think it's cool to open up these new retro game stores?
That's kind of cool, but I mean, let the small businesses
die.
The small businesses have got that under control. So no, I'm not sold at the moment. That being said, there's rumored to be a state of play later this month. If they show off some games that aren't PS4 games,
new titles.
Some new titles. If they show me Ghost of Tsushima 2, and then they have a comparison of PS5 and PS5 Pro, and the PS5 Pro I can tell without squinting, maybe.
What they could do, honestly, if they could convince Rockstar to give them gameplay on both consoles and show the differences, that would be a big deal.
It would be, but you almost have to wonder, will Rockstar want people to see the game running in a lesser...
Yeah, that's true.
They would, especially the first gameplay we see, they're not going to want people to be saying, well, this one looks bad, this one looks good. I don't think... I just don't... Like I said, I'm coming from a place of ignorance, I'm sure, but I just don't think it's worth $700. I mean, you can get a PS5 new for $400 for the digital. That's almost half the cost.
I'll be honest, if it would have been $550 or $600, I would have been more likely to do it.
If it would have been $600, I probably would have done it.
Yeah, especially with the promos. If they would have kept the promos what they are right now and trade in, because you and I've been talking, I'm I haven't touched my Series X in forever. I was I could just honestly just trade both of them in and get one.
I mean, that honestly, if I was in that situation, I may consider doing that, but I'm not. I'm not paying. I'm not going to trade mine in for possibly $410, $350 to just turn around and pay another $250 to $300. That's insane. What I would like to spend that money on is the Switch 2.
Yeah, whatever that comes out.
Well, it's rumored we'll get an announcement soon, but I mean, I would much rather either spend that money on games or Switch 2. Or anything besides in my opinion, a slight upgrade to what I already have.
Right. Yeah. Until I see some real world differences and actually some stuff that's built for PS5 Pro and not just stuff they're upscaling that's already out, it's going to be hard to really sell me on it, I think. Now, we talked about Astrobot and how we're both really enjoying that. So I kind of wanted to dive into how that game's been performing. So Astrobot's week 1 US sales were strong, ranking second in unit sales. However, in the UK, its launch sales were actually 21% higher than Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which that game did really well, making it the second fastest selling platformer after Mario in the last decade, which is a pretty big deal. I mean, because Mario games like sell like crazy. Another thing worth mentioning, especially because how polished this game feels and how innovative, and just like you said, it kind of sets a standard for new 3D platformers, is that this was actually developed by a smaller team over the course of only 3 years. And it actually was lower budget, likely making it easier to turn profit compared to most other Sony PlayStation AAA titles that take 5 to 7 years and hundreds of employees. Now, one thing I will say, and this might be a slight spoiler I saw, is there's always been about this debate of like what the best throwable weapon is. I don't know if I don't think I haven't ran into him yet in the game, but there's always been this debate about what the best throwable weapon is in Last of Us. And we feel like this might have ended the debate because some gamers feel as if Astrobot's Joel cameo has settled a classic Last of Us debate with Joel wielding a brick, suggesting it's the superior throwable. Which, yeah, I haven't ran into him yet. He should have been carrying a golf club, though. I thought that would have been cool. Thoughts?
I'm muting you. Hang on.
No. But I'm glad to see this game is doing well, especially since it's from a smaller team. Now, I just hope Sony does right by these individuals. If it's the second fastest selling platformer after Mario in the last decade, like, give these people a raise, give these people more people, and give these people more projects, you know?
You're going to get laid off tomorrow.
You know what, the way things are going, I don't know. Now, the last bit of news I wanted to mention, because you actually mentioned earlier about 2K, I think, and talking about microtransactions and how all that stuff has kind of been going. So in Diablo, obviously we know when we got Diablo Immortals on the mobile, there was this big uproar about how this was very much pay to win, microtransactions, all that. There was so much of an uproar. But wouldn't you know it, Diablo 4 players have now spent over $150 million in microtransactions, just microtransactions alone. Players can purchase platinum for bundles and battle passes. So despite this controversy that obviously is around microtransactions and Blizzard, well, now Microsoft, I guess, right, or Activision, Diablo 4 continues to generate revenue just with microtransactions alone. Now, this is probably a micro fraction compared to what Fortnite makes off microtransactions. But, but it is still $150 on just microtransactions alone. Diablo is pretty wild to think about. And that's just outside of people paying for the game itself. So did you play Diablo 4?
I did. I'll
probably go back in October.
What's in October?
They're dropping a new class.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's like some sort of spirit thing where you can transform to like different animals and creatures. It's pretty cool. But you played initially. You were hyped for it when it came out. What were you saying?
Yeah, I just fell off of it really fast. It didn't really scratch that itch that I had.
Ooh, what would scratch that itch that you had?
Not that.
That's for sure. So that's all I had news wise. Is there any news or anything that came up that you wanted to discuss? I don't think probably you had anything, but
no, I mean, I think we kind of touched on all the big stuff. The PlayStation's the one I really wanted to talk about, just because I feel like, man, $700 is crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like sets a bad precedent. Like if we all agree to buy it for $700, what's the PS6 going to look like? I mean, you're probably gonna crack 1,000.
It's funny too that you bring that up, because I actually read a news story today, and I meant to actually tie that into this. That like the reason that this was a marginal upgrade is because Sony is actually focused on a PS6. Is supposedly why this was a marginal upgrade compared to what it could have been. I will ask you this, just kind of on the whim, like what other games are you looking for that still haven't came out this year? Is there anything that you're still looking forward to?
There is, and I'm actually kind of Dragon Age Veilguard. That's like my big one.
Oh, I need to
That's
pre-order that, but I'm when is it? Is it September still?
September or October. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
That's like my number one game going forward for the rest of the year, I think. I'm excited. I was really excited for Black Ops 6, but I'm gonna be honest, that beta didn't really do it any favors for me. So I've kind of cooled off on that one. Um, Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom here in a couple weeks. Really pumped for that.
Yeah, they just
I
released
know that there's more. Oh, Marvel Rivals too. I cannot wait to play that.
Yeah, that's I heard that some people were saying that that game, the classes aren't super balanced, but they're still just going to roll it out anyways. But I'm sure there has to be data, so like I'm sure they'll have to like adjust that stuff on the fly when it goes live. It's the same thing with
Yeah, there's a
Overwatch.
few.
Characters get nerfed or buffed or
Yeah, I'm sure that they've had several betas and alphas, and it doesn't come out till December. They may even do another beta or alpha too to kind of like test things out. But I'm pretty hyped for that one.
Yeah. Now, are you playing Deadlock by chance?
Man, I tried it, did not care for it.
Didn't care for it?
No.
Yeah, I was invited to it, but I haven't played it yet. So I've heard kind of
Yeah.
mixed things about it.
I just don't really like that type of game. Like oh god, I forgot the genre. It's like Smite, I guess, or something like that. Is it a MOBA?
Yeah. Yeah,
I just did not
but it's a shooter. Yeah.
like the characters were cool and their abilities were cool, but I would just rather have like almost like an Overwatch hero shooter instead of me like fighting like these, I don't know, rock creatures. I don't. It just didn't do it for me. My friend Connor, who I know listens to the show, sorry Connor, he got really into it, like really into it. I mean, probably. Oh gosh, I'll look it up. Let me see how many hours he played. I'm gonna call him out right now. But I played one game with him, and it honestly felt like I was trapped because like the game just wouldn't end. It just kept going and going and going to the point where I was like trying to throw. He only has 37 hours on it. I thought he had more than that. Um, but it was just a miserable kind of
But for a beta, that's
I don't
still a
know.
lot
I
of
know.
hours.
Yeah, and I know that there are people that love that type of game. I just don't. So for me, it was
Just
just
not for
truly
you. Yeah.
miserable. The gameplay was fine. Like the characters were good, but just man, just make it like Overwatch, dude. you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking for me, I think Dragon Age, Echoes of Wisdom is probably the two I'm also looking forward to. I'm really hoping, like, I'm really wanting a good, like, open world RPG, and I'm praying that Dragon Age is good this year. Like, I really, really hope that it's going to be good.
So I want to segue off that real quick. There's a
Yeah.
game I'd never heard of before. And then it doesn't even come out until next year, but over the weekend they just dropped 50 minutes of gameplay. Oh, I cannot remember the name of it. What was it called?
Wow,
Oh
this is
my
embarrassing.
gosh. It
This is
is embarrassing.
embarrassing.
I know. I think I know what it was called. Hang on. Yes, Crimson Desert.
I don't think I've heard of that one. Does it look good?
I hadn't either. No, it looks great. Yeah. They released 50 minutes of gameplay, and the game doesn't even come out until like the second half of 2025.
I'm
It looks
I'm
great.
hoping I'll have to check that out. I'm hoping we get an update from that title that Sony showed that was supposed to be like the PlayStation's version of like Breath of the Wild. I can't remember what that game was called.
Yeah.
But they showed it at one of the state of plays, but we haven't gotten an update on that in quite some time.
PS5 Pro exclusive.
Probably. All right. So with that, if there's nothing else, let's go ahead and transition into the Emmys. I know that I watched the highlights. I unfortunately did not watch the whole thing because I was busy at dinner last night, so I didn't get a chance to watch it. But like I said, Eugene and Dan, is that what you said?
David.
Dan, no, now you're trying to get
I was trying to get you.
Dan Levy hosted, which I don't know if there's normally a person that hosts the Emmys. I know that well, no, I know there is, but I'm saying I don't know if there's like a regular. Like I know that Ricky Trevason hosts sometimes, I think, but
He
I don't
did the
know.
Golden Globes.
The Golden Globes. Okay, yeah. See,
He's
I don't watch a
brutal.
lot of it.
Love
Oh yeah,
when he hosts.
so I've heard. But yeah, I really would have watched it just for them two hosting. I feel like it would have been a good one. But I know there was some records set. I know that Shogun was nominated for 25 awards and won 18, which for a show that I've not seen is kind of makes me a little sad. I watched the first episode. My girlfriend was like, this is a little too intense for me, so I can't watch it. And then I never went back and watched it. I need to though. But yeah, so for outstanding comedy, the show that won for that is called Hacks. I've never heard of that show. I don't know what Hacks is. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, it's Jean Smart. She's like I think like a late night talk show comedian, kind of like a Jay Leno type.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what it is, and it's like about her writing staff and stuff.
Oh, okay. So is it kind of like 30 Rock almost type, I guess, probably?
Yeah, but I think a
you were
little more
guessing?
grounded in reality.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
But once again, outstanding drama series went to Shogun. No surprise. Lead actress and lead actor, both of them, won for Shogun as well. I'm not even gonna say their names because I don't know. Now, did you watch Baby Reindeer on Netflix?
No, I did not. Kayla did and liked it, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I know it's about like a stalker and all that type of stuff, and it's based on, I guess, a real series of events. But
The guy
it
who
won.
wrote it and starred in it, it's his life.
Oh, so the guy that actually starred in the show is the guy that got stalked? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is like
okay.
his
Well,
way of dealing with it, I think, like his way of coping.
wow, that's crazy. Because I saw that Piers Morgan did an interview with the girl that supposedly stalked him, but I didn't watch it because I didn't want any spoilers if I was going to watch the show.
Yeah, I don't want the stalker to spoil the story.
No, I don't want that.
That's hilarious. I don't know why this is funny to me.
But Baby Reindeer won for outstanding limited or anthology series. And then I know that I think you watched the earlier seasons of True Detective, but I don't know if you've kept up with them. But
I didn't even finish the first season. It was too slow for me.
Okay, so outstanding lead actress in a limited anthology series went to Jodie Foster from True Detective Night Country, which is the newest season. And then for outstanding lead actor for a limited anthology goes to Richard Gadd from Baby Deer, which is obviously the guy.
Baby Deer.
Did I say Baby Deer? Baby Reindeer. Sorry.
You also called Ricky Gervaisin.
I thought that's what it was. I can't. I'm having a stroke, bro.
Oh my gosh, it makes me laugh every time. I can't wait till we get a text from Maxwell tomorrow calling you out too for this.
I know, I'm the worst. For best directing I know. For best directing for a drama, it went to Frederick Eo Toyi from Shogun. So another Shogun. What?
Yeah.
Is it not Frederick?
That last name.
Oh, yeah, Frederick. I know. Okay, I was like, did I even say that name right? For best directing and I don't understand for the life of me how The Bear is considered a comedy.
So I think
is it a dark comedy?
I honestly think it comes down to the rules for what classifies as a comedy, what classifies as a drama. I think comedies are 30 minutes and dramas are an hour.
Oh, because I don't find anything funny about The Bear. I mean, there's funny things said, but I would not consider it a comedy.
No,
that's like but like something like Barry, I would consider a dark comedy because there's times that I'm laughing and then times I feel like I'm crying and times I'm just in shock and awe. You know what I mean?
Times I was not laughing.
Yeah, 100%. Betty. But anyways, so the director won for best comedy series for The Bear. Best writing for a limited series on TV movies went to Richard Gadd from Baby Reindeer, not Baby Deer.
Baby Deer.
Baby Deer. And then not to be mistaken for Slapsmith.
Keep my wife's name.
Yeah. Yeah, so best writing for a drama series went to Will Smith for Slow Horses, which not the Will Smith you're thinking of, obviously, but I hear Slow Horses is incredible.
I've heard that too. Yeah,
I've not watched it, but I've heard it's great. I mean, yeah, Gary Oldman is evidently clutch. He's a messy man in that movie or that show, but I've heard it's great. Yeah. And then supporting actor in a limited series anthology goes to Lamorne. How you say that name?
Lamorne Morris.
Lamar Morris from Fargo.
Yeah.
Which I'm trying to think of who that is because I didn't watch the newest season.
Did you watch New Girl?
No.
You've never seen New Girl?
I've seen the first season.
He's Winston.
I've watched it. Oh, okay. I've watched it far enough to where do they change out who Coach is at one point?
That's racist, but no, I'm kidding.
They
Coach
don't?
and Winston are two different characters. Coach is in like the first
but Coach
episode.
leaves, right?
He's in. Okay, here's some New Girl history. First of all, New Girl's like one of the all-time great comedies.
I know. I've heard.
Coach was supposed to be on the show. Okay.
Yes.
But he was on a show that he thought was going to get canceled, Happy Endings. So he signed up for New Girl to play Coach. Well, Happy Endings didn't get canceled, so they renewed his contract there, and he had to step away from New Girl. So they then hired Lamar Morris to play a new character named Winston. Coach does come back.
Okay. Yeah, I watched until he comes back, but I did not see after, I guess.
You watched a while then. I don't think he comes back to like season 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Maybe it was 2. Right. I don't know. But in Fargo, he plays Whit Farr, a cop, and he's great.
Is it? Okay. Is the newest season good?
Yeah, it's really good.
Because I think I left off. There was a Fargo season with Hugh McGregor where he was twins. I think I watched that one. The following one, I think, was the one with Chris Rock, I think, in it, right? I did not watch. That's where I've stopped. And I'm assuming the new season is after the Chris Rock one. Is that correct?
The new season is like present day. It's like during COVID.
Well, I just meant as far as in the order that they were released.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. No, this new season's very good.
Okay. I still think
like up there with the best.
Probably the first season was so good.
So the first season's excellent. Lauren Malvo is just one of the all-time great TV villains.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh man, I could watch that show all freaking day.
Now, one that you're probably excited about, Best Talk series was The Daily Show.
Jon
you're
Stewart.
A fan of The Daily Show. Yeah, I'm so glad he came back.
Me too. I love Jon Stewart.
He seems like such a genuinely good person. Like he does.
Yeah, he does.
He's like the non-trashy version of Dave Portnoy for some reason. I associate those two to be similar in some way. I don't know why, but anyway, so people might hate me for saying that, but it's fine. Writing in a comedy series is Luca. I don't know who that is. Oh, it's a whole team.
Lucia Aniello, Paul Downs, Jen Statsky for Hacks.
And then another one that I'm sure that you're excited about. So Best Scripted Variety Series was last week tonight with John Oliver.
I think did you watch him accept the award?
No.
It was funny.
Or was it a political speech?
No, it's funny. Well, it wasn't supposed to be funny, but it ended up being funny. So he gets up there, he thanks his people, and then he goes, and then I want to thank my dog. And as soon as he says that, they start playing the Get Off the Stage music, right? They're like, no time to thank dogs, right? And he was like, my dog died recently. And then he's just like, no, keep playing, you know? And he's just like, I feel like Sarah McLachlan up here. But like he said, but then they cut the music because they're like, oh no, we shouldn't have done that. But as soon as he says, I want to thank my dog, the music, boom, real loud. And he's like, oh no, keep going. They had to censor part of it too. He told them a few words, but it was good. It was a good moment.
Wow, I have to go back and check that out. That sounds amazing. And then Best Supporting Actress, I'm not sure which character she plays, maybe the stalker in a limited series anthology series, is Jessica Gunning from Baby Reindeer, not Baby Deer. I've also heard this next show is good. Not seen it. If you like a reality TV show, I heard it's good. Outstanding reality competition program is The Traitors.
Love that
I think
show.
that's a Peacock show, correct?
Yes.
Yes, it is. But I've heard it's good. And then outstanding lead actress in a comedy series, Jean Smart from Hacks, which you talked about that. And then supporting actress in a drama series, Elizabeth Debicki. And that's from The Crown on Netflix, which I hear that show is phenomenal. I've not seen it. Justin did join. And then let's see here. Supporting actress in a comedy series is Liza Colin Zahas from The Bear. That's one of the I think she's a Hispanic cook or chef in The Bear. She's really, really good. I like her character a lot. And then outstanding lead actor in a comedy series, Jeremy Allen White from The Bear, which he's a phenomenal actor. I can't wait to see. I wanted to watch that movie he was in with Zac Efron. I heard it's great, but I've also heard it's very depressing. So I don't know if I'm down for that. And then supporting actor in a drama series is Billy Crudup. Yeah, in The Morning Show. I'm trying to remember. I watched The Morning Show, and I'm trying to remember what character he played because I cannot remember who that is. Because John Hamm was also nominated. There were, in this category, 3 people from The Morning Show was nominated just for The Morning Show.
He was the guy. He's been on since the beginning. I think he's the one that kind of hires Reese Witherspoon to join up with Jennifer Aniston.
Oh,
he's got like the dark hair. He's kind of like charismatic.
Yeah. I really like him. So much so that I didn't remember his name. And then supporting actor in a comedy series is Ebon Moss-Bachrach from The Bear. Yeah, that is the guy that plays Uncle. That's the guy that plays Uncle in The Bear, which you've watched The Bear, right? Or Cousin. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Have you seen season 3? I've not watched season 3.
I've not finished it yet, actually.
I've not watched it, but the end of all of season 2 was great. I think Cousin's story arc was my favorite thing in season 2.
Yeah,
I thought that was great. But that does it for the Emmys. Are you about to play this right now?
Yeah, let me know if you can hear it, okay?
Okay.
Brooklyn, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having fun. I'd particularly like to thank Liz Stanton and Tim Carvell. I'd like to thank HBO. Never a guarantee. I appreciate it. Please carry on. I'd like to thank my wife, husband, gonna come back to haunt me.
All right, here we go. I should have
and Marzi, I should have got his wrong as well to even and Casey in particular.
Oh my
I also
gosh.
want to thank, this can be very silly, our dog. We had the most fantastic dog, and she was at our wedding, and she got us through a pandemic.
Did they edit the music out?
She was with us for the 2 pregnancies.
Oh, they might have.
And
there it is.
Choice of music. We had to say goodbye to her, and fuck you. There you go.
Oh.
It is. I feel like Sarah McLachlan right now. She was an amazing dog, and ouch. I would guess I want to. This isn't just for her. This is for all dogs. All dogs. You're all very.
You're probably gonna get striked for that one.
Boys.
You think we will?
We'll find out, but it's
fine. We'll see.
That is it's funny and sad all at the same time.
Yeah.
Super sad. All right. Well,
that was fair use. We're talking about it.
That is true. We were. So is there any other call outs for Emmys that you had? Is there any shows that we talked about? I know we talked about Slow Horses. You said you wanted to watch. Is there any of the other shows that we talked about that you think you might watch?
I desperately want to watch Shogun. Yeah.
Okay.
I might watch Baby Reindeer. I might watch Baby Reindeer.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to watch Shogun, and then I might try to watch Baby Reindeer. But
Fargo first.
Okay.
Fargo will fly by.
Okay, fair enough.
You can go straight to season 5.
Okay, that's what I was about to ask, but I didn't want you to get mad at me. So
there's no connection to the other seasons. This one's all fresh.
Okay. So fresh and so clean. All right. So with that being said, tell me what you're looking forward to. You got anything fun coming up around the corner that you just absolutely cannot wait to do? Because I know you're coming off of a very busy month. So
I am. Yeah. My dad broke his hip. That was one thing that I've had to deal with the last few weeks. So that's why we haven't really recorded much. But I have my my iPhone 16 Pro Max coming in this week. Pretty pumped for that.
Oh, you pre-ordered, huh?
Yeah, I thought I told you that. Did I not?
I think you said you were planning on upgrading, but I didn't know you actually you pre-ordered. That's cool though.
Yep. Driving to work Friday morning, pull into a food fair parking lot to place my pre-order. Boom, back on the road to work because I was on the road at 8. So I had to make sure I got it on time.
At least you weren't on West Coast and have to get up at like 5 a.m. or whatever it is.
Yeah. Looking forward to more football. You know, I love football season. So fantasy football is not looking so great, but it's fine. Guillotine League, though, I think I mentioned that last time, didn't I?
Yeah.
I made it. I was supposed to be the lowest scoring team. I was one of the highest scoring teams. So
let's go. Is your fantasy looking good this year overall?
Hit and miss. Depends on the team.
Okay.
A lot of
enough.
injuries so far this year. But yeah, that's pretty much it in the immediate future. What about you?
Okay. For me, honestly, for what I do, it's about to get busy for the next couple weeks. But I do have a vacation coming up starting at the beginning of October.
Is that when you
So
come
I'm
back
looking.
here?
No, that will be towards the end of October. But yes, I know, I'm the worst. But going to visit my girlfriend's sister in Charleston, South Carolina for a couple days. And then we're driving down to spend like 4 days in Hilton Head. So I'm pretty
Nice.
excited for that. Just to not be working, just to be able to relax. The place that we're staying at has bikes that we can ride and all kinds of stuff. So I'm just looking forward to kind of just unplugging for a little bit and just kind of disconnecting. So pretty excited about that. And then possibly this weekend, I might be going to the mountains. Don't know yet. I think after the week I'm about to have, I'll probably want to do that. So we'll just have to wait and see. Outside of that, I'm going home, like I said, towards the end of October to visit family. And then I think I'm coming back in for a very short trip at the beginning of November. So
Remember getting those mountain dotes when you come in, right?
Mountain what?
Don't.
Oh, Mountain Don'ts.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah, you're talking about at
Backyard of the Peddler. Take your.
Oh, we could do either one. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. I would prefer probably backyard, so we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
All
No
right.
offense to the Peddler. We love the Peddler, but backyard just hits different.
They say that it does hit different. Whatever that means.
Experts say.
What are you playing right now outside of Astrobots? You playing anything else?
Well, just Outlaws and NBA right now. Oh yeah, I am. It's actually gonna be my pick of the week, so I'll save it.
It's exactly what I was getting at. I was wondering, and I was also stalling because I needed to type this. So, what is your
pick of the week? Pick of week.
Dang it.
My pick of week is if you're just listening, you don't see it, but he typed the thing in wrong. So it
didn't happen. Never happened.
It happened. He fixed it though. My pick of the week, and this is crazy. If you would have asked me even 3 weeks ago what I thought about this game, I would have said it sucks. And that game is Valorant. Turns out
you playing on PlayStation now that it's there?
I am, yeah. So I thought I don't know. I was getting Valorant mixed up with another game, and everyone was like, play Valorant, play Valorant. I'm like, no, that game sucks. I tried it. I didn't like it. Apparently, I was thinking of a different game. I guess I'm a boomer. I don't know. But turns out I love it. It's like a 5v5 shooter, round-based, kind of like my SOCOM and my Siege that I love so much. Respawn's lame. You just got to, if I die, let me die, But
yeah.
It's just a lot of fun. I feel like it's a game that should be sweatier than it is. But like we have a team of 5 that kind of rolls through and does a pretty good job. But it's just a fun game. It's been kind of my main shooter right now. So yeah, I'm having a good time.
Yeah. Now, is it cross platform or no?
With consoles, yes, not with PC players.
Okay, well that makes sense. Okay. Well, maybe I'll download it and check it out. I did see it on the PlayStation. Well, I'd seen that you had actually recently downloaded it, and I was like, oh, I didn't realize that came to PlayStation finally. Because I have a couple friends that like religiously play it on PC. It's like they're playing every night. So all right. Well, for me, my pick of the week, honestly, Astrobots. Like I said earlier, I went into it not expecting much because I'll be honest, I remember Astrobots being kind of like a PlayStation tech demo. I mean, there were a few stages, but it wasn't like a fully fleshed out game, I don't think. Or if it was very short. Like I said, this one wasn't even on my radar. I didn't even know that it was coming out. And then you had mentioned it, and we ended up getting it and playing it. And it's honestly been great. The only thing that I'm not sure of, is it multiplayer at all? Or is it solely single player?
It's just single player.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was or not, but having a really good time of that. I think after I'm done playing Astrobot, I'll probably go back and revisit Outlaws, I would say, to see if I can get into it. I will ask you a question about Outlaws, though, without spoilers, but what faction or group or whatever they call them in this game are you aligning with the most, or that you're doing most of the work for? Or have you kind of jumped around?
Yeah, it's mainly Crimson Dawn and the Huts. Pikes. The Pikes and I got off on the wrong foot on day one, and I never looked back. They can suck it. Yeah, I don't do
Now there's two
anything.
right in the beginning. Is that Crimson Dawn and the Huts, I think, and the Pikes come later, correct?
No, the Pikes are right away. Pikes and Crimson Dawn are the first two that you meet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't
That you
like.
start really getting involved with.
Yeah, I also did not. I did not like the Pikes. I definitely was like Crimson Dawn. When that lady was like, come work for me. She was like, she seems chill. I'm gonna go work for her. So
when you're going through Jabba's palace, no spoilers, of course, but like they did a phenomenal job making me feel like I'm in that palace from like Return of the Jedi.
really,
Like it feels super accurate to the movie. Like it's insane.
well, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I'll go back and revisit it, especially with the patches and stuff they released. I'm sure that bug fixes come, and then some maybe the frustrating stuff will be ironed out. And I think I will at least play till I start upgrading, because I unlocked a couple things. Like if I get caught, I can like raise my hands and I can I can like stun them or whatever. That's the only upgrade that I got. So, and then my friend Preston that I was on the podcast with, he told me that on later stealth missions that you're able to use like your stun blaster. He was like, but the one in the beginning, you couldn't use it in that one. But he said there's ones later on that you can actually use that while you're doing those stealth missions, which made me happy to hear. So, all right. Well, anything to add before we close out?
That is it.
Well, we want to thank you for listening to episode 155 of Nerds with Mics. We would just ask that you would go and subscribe to us on whatever platform you prefer to listen to. Make sure that you comment and leave us a review. We always like to hear from our people. And if there's ever any future topics that you would want to hear about, feel free to go onto the comment of the video or whatever medium that you're taking this in and just leave it there. And we'll try to see if we can work that into our episode. But without further ado, that's it for us. Until next time, peace.
Bye.